Ladies and gentlemen, it's so happy, and we have just some. I don't know what so negative. I don't know the negative words to say about the situation at Whale Certified Studios, Boom Boom Studios in downtown Holly Hills. But it doesn't matter because we have the people. We got the super people. You got the whale and Dr. Chuck Zorumski, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Kevin, it's great to be with you again. So we'll figure it out from here, right?
That's right, baby. That's right. So I have the paper and the pen, but I didn't write it down. That thought of the moment or two ago when you said, "Hey, that's something we could talk about."
Yeah, I was talking about having just given a talk about premature aging, and what can we do about it? Well, people like me, so I'm a cellular and synaptic neuroscientist, so I think about molecules and how to improve the function of neurons, the brain cells that we have, and how to make them more efficient and better energy users and things like that. But we know a lot about how to prepare ourselves for aging. It's just we have to do these things, and they have nothing to do with taking medications or other things like that. The best things that we can do to get ready for healthy aging, if you will, if this is a good topic for us to talk about, the best things you can do, you already know what to do. It's diet. For example, in animals, if you restrict their number of calories that they eat per day and you keep them relatively thin and lean, they're going to live longer than littermates who eat too much. So diet is a big thing. Stuff that we've learned as athletes over the years, being fit and exercise is critical. That will help you age in a much better way. And the evidence for this is almost overwhelming, frankly. And it's not that you have to do that much exercise. If you walk something like 5,000 to 7,000 steps per day, your risks and your time of onset of something like Alzheimer's disease gets shifted into the future. It's later than it otherwise would have been. So staying active, so diet, exercise, sleep, getting adequate amounts of sleep. In our current society, sleep deprivation is all over the place, as is insomnia. As a matter of fact, if you were to go through a psychiatric clinic, you'd see insomnia running through almost the entire population of folks that you see. So how to help people sleep better is a big thing. And the answer isn't strictly taking medications. The answers might be something called sleep hygiene. What are the circumstances under which you're sleeping? Get the TV out of your bedroom. Get the noise out of your bedroom, and learn to live and be regimented in when you go to bed and when you get up. It's a great thing for health, and it's a great thing for aging. Other things that help all of this is if you can manage to reduce some of the stress in your life. So things like learning kind of self-reflective meditation and things like that to dampen your stress responses. That will help the aging process in that. And then finally, to quit soapboxing all of this, because this ends up being a lecture and a soliloquy if I just keep talking. So hear what you want to hear about, and then try to respond to that. But the last thing I would mention is social interventions, social interactions that you have, the friends that you have, provided that your friends are positive influences on your life. If your friends are all heavy drinkers or drug users are in trouble with other things, they are not the folks that will help you age gracefully. They are the folks that will drag you down and make it bad. So getting beyond all of that to a positive social network is a really important thing. Matter of fact, there's something that in science is now called the hallmarks of aging, because this has become a big topic with the aging of our population, and it's what are the things that will make aging better? And there are things that cause aging, there are things that or responses of the body to aging that can lead to significant problems. In the middle of this, and I'm thinking of a wheel that describes this, kind of a circular thing of causes, responses, and then integrative kind of things that happen in the body to deal with it. In the middle of it now, those who are making these comments about the aging process, in the middle of it is social isolation. Being isolated socially and losing your friends and not having people that you can turn to and interact with is a real detriment to our ability to age gracefully and to age well. And that is a very profound statement, that the enrichment of our environment with our friends has a big impact. So I hope that helps, but that's kind of what I was thinking about, what I just talked about in a lecture I gave about a week ago or so.
Right, and the boob tube doesn't count. Going through a journey of life with a internet or the TV, that's not what we're talking about.
That is absolutely correct, Kevin. The TV, thinking that the friends on the internet are your friends. Humans need personal interactions with other human beings. You need to see their facial expressions in person. That's what we respond to. As we interact with human beings, we read their emotions off of what their face looks like and how they present their words. And that's critical for us because we learn things from that then help us adapt in a better way. Not only that, but if you have your friends are selected. They could be from almost any sector those individuals could come from. But those people become, in some ways, and this is going to sound very strange, they become part of your own brain. So those are the people that Chuck would say something like, "Oh, I think blah blah blah," and they'll go, "Man, that's the craziest idea I've ever heard." That's like, do you understand how many problems that's going to cause for you? So they become what I call a surrogate brain. They are bringing you back to planet Earth when your own ideas have gotten awry. And man, I think that helps. That definitely helps the aging process because you don't get in as much trouble as you otherwise would.
Well, down on the south side now, every Friday, me and my fellow retirees, well, one is still working, but the other, we're all retired, semi-retired, and we go to Pietro's, and we're the youngest people there, but the tables are filled with 8 people with reunion every. They're in their 70s and 80s. I'm 68. They look older than I do. But anyway, it's just real nice. Is that, and then you have people that are aces. They come in themselves, but they say hi, how you doing, and they go. It's a part of a community type of thing, and I think that you're absolutely right. Like, when you pack those bags, your equipment bag to go to school, you got your book bag and then your equipment bag. You don't pack it anymore, and you don't after school you don't go to practice. You don't have any more practice. You don't have any games to go to. This and that. There's substitutions that is similar. They're not meant to be the same. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but we're meant to treasure those moments and to, for a lack of vocabulary, to recycle them and to give them off in a caring and sharing way to others.
Yeah, and the context, man, and I go back to the soccer part, which is, kind of how the show kind of runs off of the sports kind of thing. Those interactions with those folks, and I was alluding to that in the earlier part when we were talking, they don't go away. One of the blessings, and again, I don't know how it is for folks who've moved around to multiple cities and things like that. I presume there's a version of this. But in St. Louis, I mean, I go back to players that I played with 50 years ago that I don't see all the time. But when you walk in the room with them, it's like we never left, right?
Yeah.
I think about the lunch that I went to with you, with John Newsham, and
Yeah.
Calico, and the gang, from out of the north side. Man, that was just great. And it's like I had never been to one of those with those guys, and it was like I had been with them my entire life, right? We're all sitting around talking about stuff. And the same thing, I had the sad occasion to attend a wake for one of a relative of one of the players from St. Louis U. But I walk into this thing over last weekend, and in there are just people who were really close as players back in college, and we don't see each other on a very regular basis at all anymore. But it's like we never left. I mean, so people like Mark Demling there, Denny Hannigan's there, Jimmy Gutman, Bob Madison are there, and we're all just kind of hanging out, kind of talking, And some of it's about current events, some of it's about stuff from 30 years ago, 40 years ago. But that's the network, right? I mean, that's and it never goes away, frankly. Which, thank God, it never goes away.
Yeah. And so the whole operation is that a person almost has to purposely sever ties with people, places, and things. That in the normal course of events you would meet up and do and familiar places. But the whole story is that to do that, that's when you personally have to say, hey, whoa, this is my burning question. I mean, I feel that that's correct. And if I wasn't right, I wouldn't even think of it, right? I mean, is that how it is when you have real severe psychiatric problems? You don't even think like that?
Yeah, well, there are several things that oh, man. Kevin, there's a fire drill here. Can you hear the background behind me?
No, I just heard you talk to somebody.
Yeah, no, there's a voice going off. I don't know if we may have to call this off.
Okay.
Going off for a while. Can you hear it? It's a fire drill going on.
No. Well, get your drill in.
So this thing's blaring in my ear. So I can't. Let's try this another time then, because this is going to go on for a while, I think. So,
oh, wonderful.
So you got to admit, this is one of the strangest conversations we've ever had.
Yeah, but it's so real and so it's not empty. It's not just fool's talk. So I really enjoyed it. Bye-bye, doctor.
Another time and get this alarm over with. Take care, man.
All right, man. Bye-bye.